Here we are in section 3-3 exercises number 6 through 17. Number 6, change into a percent. So we're going to first change into a decimal and then go to a percent. So 1 into 6, we're going to take 1 divided by 6. Put a couple of decimals here to see the pattern. 6 goes into 1. No. 6 goes into 10. Yes, 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract and we get a 4. Drop down the 0. 6 into 40, that's a 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Subtract and we get a 4, and we are now going to repeat that pattern. So if we write out 0.1, write out a couple of these, 6, 6, and then it goes on forever there. To change to a percent, we now move the decimal place 1, 2 places to right here. So we're at 16.66666. So you could write it like that. Or you could write it at rounding right there, 16.7%. Or some people might actually round it to 17%, but that's a little bit weak for us. So I like that one right there. That's as classy as can be. Okay, number 7, 21 over 28. You could do 21 divided by 28. That's going to be pretty intense. If you can notice, hey, there's a 7 in here and a 7 in there, this goes down to 3/4. Some of you may be like, oh, 3/4, I know that one. That's going to be 75%. Let's do it officially. 3 divided by 4. Put a couple of zeros here. Let's see if it really comes out to 75%. 4 goes into 3. No. 4 goes into 30. 7 times. 7 times 4 is a 28. Subtract, you get to 2 and a 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times exactly. Yeah, so that's 0.75. So we move it, this is going to equal 0.75, and we move it 1, 2 places, gives us the 75%. Excellent. Number 8, 43 out of 40. That doesn't look like it's going to simplify down at all. So we're actually going to have to do 43 divided by 40. Now note, before we get any further, if you got 43 points out of 40 on some math quiz, you got over 100%. We should be expecting something over 100% here. Now we can move the decimal here to make it a little bit nicer to compute, and move the decimal there. This is 4 into 4.3. 4 goes into 4 1 time. Subtract and we get 0. Let's not waste so much space. 0. Drop down the 3. 4 goes into 3. No, it doesn't. 0. Subtract, we get 3. Better have another 0 here or 2. Drop down that. 4 goes into 30 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract and we get a 2. Drop down the 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. And that comes out nice and even. All right, so 1.075, that's the decimal. So remember, we go now change it to a percent by going so that is 107.5%, which makes sense according to what we saw at the beginning. We're just over 100% here. Cool. Number 9, 52% of 40. Okay, 52% of 40. Now, of means times, so we take this, here's the decimal, go 1, 2, because we're going backwards, we're changing it back to a decimal. So we're taking 0.52 of means times 40. Okay, so we have the 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 5 is 20. And we have 2 decimal places, 1, 2. So it's going to be right there. 20.80 or 20.8. Number 10, 80%, so 1, 2, that's 0.8 of is times 78. So I'm going to put the 78 on top times 0.8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 6 is 62. And we have 1 decimal place here. 62.4. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. You would expect something in the 60s to give you a B out of 78 total problems. All right, number 11. 25% of 165. So again, that's going to go 12.25. Let's put that point right there, 0.25 and 165 there. Times them. 5 times 5 is 25. There's a 2. 5 times 6 is 30. Plus 2 is 32. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 8. Put a 0 there because that's the next row down. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Carry a 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So 5, 2, 11. Carry the 1, and that's a 4. 2 decimal places, 41.25. Good. Number 12. 10% of 237.4. Oh, if you could picture tithing, we're just going to scoot that over and get 23.74. But let's do it officially. Move this 2 decimal places, so we get a 0.1. And we're going to times by 237.4. Well, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2. Now we have 2 digits behind the decimal. So we get 23.74. Yeah, 10% that you just slide the decimal over. That's why it does that. All right, number 13, which is 47% of 1,500. So 1,500 times 0.47. Move that decimal over 2 places to put it back to a decimal. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 3 is 10. Second row here. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. And 4 times 5 is 20. And 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is a 6. So 0, 0, 5, 0, 7. Okay, so we get 705 and then 2 decimal places. Oh, it's just 705. Yeah, look at that. That's good. Okay, number 14. 185%. Oh, so we're going to be over 50. So this is 1.85 times 50. Okay, so again, you go 1, 2, so it's 1.85. All of these other percents, we came to the beginning of the number, but this one we can't. It's only 2 decimal places, so it's not 0.185, it's 1.85 times 50. So put the 0 down there. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is a 42. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So 2 decimal places, 1, 2. So the answer would be 92.50. Okay, number 15. Using the chart, oh, that's this one right over here. How much money was spent if the total budget was 3,600? So they are all going to be out of 3,600. Insurance, in this case, insurance is 9%. So we need 9% of 3,600. We're going to take 3,600 times 0.09. Again, that's the 9%. And we have moved it 2 places, so you need a 0 in front. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 0 is 0. 9 times 6 is 54. Carry the 5. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 5 is 32. 2 decimal places. So the answer would be $324.00. Okay, number 16. What if we're dealing with the house? Let me see, the house is 47%. So we've got 3,600. I should write that up here. Got the 47% from the chart. That's timesing by 0.47. Oh, look, just like we did there. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 6 is 42. Carry the 4. 7 times 3 is 21. Times 4 is 25. Then we're multiplying. We're moving to the next row. So we get a 0. Then 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 6 is 24. That's now a 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 0, 0, 2, 9, 6, 1. And move it 2 decimal places over. So we get $1,692. Ooh, ouch. That's a mortgage right there. Oh boy. All right, and the next one. Number 17. Fun, 10%. So here we're going to be doing 10% of 3,600. So that's 3,600 times 0.1. Again, move it 2 decimal places, and it's a 0.10. Oh, we know this is going to be, we're just going to move it and get 360. Yeah, 0,063, 1 decimal place over. We get $360. Whoa, that's quite a budget. $360 for fun. Love it. Good.